welcome to your practice. Today we're going to play with a little bit of core work at the beginning and then use that core work in our flows to help with stability through the trunk. So if you have two blocks, we are going to play with the blocks at the beginning, actually throughout the whole class, so you'll want the blocks. If you don't have blocks, if you have like a really thick encyclopedia or something big that you can rest your hands on, that'll work as well. But go ahead and find a comfortable seat. I'm going to start in hero's pose, but find a place that's comfortable for you. Rest your hands lightly. Take a moment before we start to move to focus inward. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, please do. Start to pay more attention to your breath than your thoughts. And watch your breath move in and out of your nose. Be more intentional about making your inhales and exhales equal in length. And as you're ready, blink your eyes open. Okay, we're going to jump right into this. So go ahead and grab your two blocks or whatever you're using as something stable and put it at the lowest height. Then your hands are going to go on this for down dog here in a moment. So you'll want them a little bit wider than shoulder width. But first, come into a tabletop position. Let's wake up the hammies a little bit. So from a tabletop position, take your right leg back. You can push your heel forward and back a little bit. Just try to wake up the back of your legs, your calf muscle. And as you do this, keep firming the left hip into the midline, lifting your frontal hip bones up as you do. Maybe hold, pushing your heel back. And then just come back to center and release your right knee down. We'll just simply switch sides, taking the left leg back, ball of your foot on the floor. And again, find some movement forward and back, just waking up maybe the bottom of your foot even a little bit, the back of your leg. And again, continue to hug the right hip in, frontal hip bones lift, so you're connected to your midsection, even though we're using this as more of a awakening in the back of the legs. Neck is nice and long. As you're ready, bring the left knee back underneath you. And then again, take your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width onto the blocks, the low height, and let's come into downward facing dog. And once you're there, you might bend one knee and pedal the next. Again, we didn't do hardly anything to wake things up today. Then maybe spin one heel down, on the other side. Oops, sliding on that mat. And then come back to center. Put a slight bend in both of your knees. As you push into your hands, lift your hips higher, keeping your head in line with your ears as best you can. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and just simply jump to the blocks. That's it, just jump. And then step back again. Now, if you need to do a little hop switch, you can do that. But again, bend your knees, look at your blocks, and then just gently hop to the blocks, Dr. Seuss style. Again, bend your knees, look at your blocks, do a little hop. Good. Come back into down dog, and now this time we're going to add to it. Bend your knees, look forward, do a little hop, bend your knees, come into chair pose. Try to pull your feet apart in chair. Draw your rib cage back. Exhale, forward fold, hands onto the blocks, step into down dog. So again, bend your knees, look at the blocks, do a little hop. Chair pose. Try to pull your feet apart, navel to spine, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into down dog. We'll do one more like that. So bend your knees, look at the blocks, and little hop to the blocks. Bend your knees, sink your buns, come into chair. Again, try to pull your feet apart, reach through your ring fingers, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. So we're gonna hold this forward fold for a moment. You might consider bending one knee and then the next, kind of wiggle it out, push into the mound of one big toe and then the next. Side to side. And then step back into down dog again with your hands on the blocks. We're going to continue to build on this. So now we're going to jump through and sit on your tush. Now here's a trick. If you look way past the blocks, you can shoot through. If you look at the mat, that's where your feet will land. So look way forward, and if it scares you, you can take your blocks up a notch. If that scares you as well, then you can just jump your feet in and then sit down. So bend your knees, look way past the blocks, jump through, and sit down. Okay, stand it back up, go back into down dog. Bend your knees, look forward, jump through, sit down. Okay, one more time like that. Stand it up, back into down dog, bend your knees, look way forward, jump it through, and sit down. So hang out here for a second. You know, since we're here, we might as well lift the feet, bend your knees, lift your sternum, keep your spine long. So if you need to be here with your hands behind your thighs, that's perfectly okay. If you need to be here with your hands down or your heels down, also okay. I'd rather see length in your spine than slumping over to try and get this Navasana work going. Take another inhale. And then on your exhale, cross your ankles, hands on the blocks. See if you can lift up, just for funsies. Put your feet down, step back, down dog. We're gonna do that again with enthusiasm. Bend your knees, look way forward, jump it through. Lift it up for Navasana. Again, modify it where you need to. Have integrity in the pose over trying to do what you think is the end point. Doesn't matter. Take another inhale. Cross your ankles, pull your knees in, hands on the blocks. Lift up, put your feet down, step into down dog. Okay, just for funsies, we're gonna do one more. Bend your knees, look way, way forward. Hop through. Navasana. Good, again, hold, breathe. Modify where you need to, take breaks when you need to. One more inhale. Cross your ankles, hands on the blocks, lift up, put your feet down. Step it back, down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees down, move your blocks off of your mat. So we are gonna use the blocks, so have them handy, but you can move them forward a little bit so they're out of the way. Hopefully you feel a little bit of connection to your midsection, and as we continue to flow and move posture to posture, try to maintain that connection to your midsection. All right, let's come into downward facing dog. Hands a little wider, slightly dialed out, and lift your hips up and back. So as always, not interested in how straight your knees are, feel free to soften your knees. Try to dial your hands apart, feeling the upper outer arms firm in and back. And just take a round of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up. On the exhale, shift to plank, pull your knee down the center to your nose. Come onto the left big toe, round your upper back. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, step your right foot to your thumbs. Lower your left knee down. Inhale, lift up into a low lunge. Hug your thighs together. Lift your frontal hip bones up. Inhale, digging into your right heel. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands come down to the ground and pause. Slide your right foot back just as we did before, so it's in that modified tabletop position. Spin on your left knee, right foot down to the mat. Sweep your right arm up and over so you're in this modified Bashisasana. Push your hips towards the right side of your mat as your heart leans back towards the left. Take an inhale. On your exhale, right hand cruises down. Spin on the ball of your right foot so the right leg is nice and long. Now lift your left knee off the ground. Sweep your left leg up and back. Take an inhale. Exhale, right down the center, nose to knee, knee to nose. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, step your foot to your thumbs. Lower your right knee. Inhale, sweep your arms up. So again, hug your inner thighs together. Draw your frontal hip bones up away from your inner left thigh. Breathe, inhale. On your exhale, bring your hands down. Slide your left knee back. So you're on the ball of your left foot. Pivot on your right knee. Take your left arm up and over. Push your hips towards the left, your heart towards the right. Take an inhale. On your exhale, left hand down, pivot. And then again, pick your right knee up. Sweep your right leg up and back. And then just simply place your foot down in down dog. Hold for a breath here in down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, shift forward into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, back bend. You can modify these as you need. Exhale, back into down dog. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Okay, we're going to build on that. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up. Again, taking it right down the center, knee to nose. Inhale, take it up and back. On your exhale, step your right foot to your thumbs, lower your left knee down, but this time draw your hips back work your right leg in the direction of straight. Now, if you need the blocks, you can grab them. We're not gonna be here super long. Hug your inner thighs together. Dig your right heel into the ground and try to avoid any pain or pulling behind your knee joint. Sternum forward, inhale. And that's it. Exhale, solve your foot down, lift your left knee. Take a wider stance, come onto fingertips. Pull your chest forward. As you dig into your right heel, maybe bend your left knee a little bit and come up into crescent pose. So I'm not interested in how straight your back leg is. Feel free to keep a gentle bend in it if that's better for your lower back. But as you do that, push down into your right heel, try to pull your right sitting bone back. Gently lift your frontal hip bones away from your inner thigh. Again, inhale, reach. And then exhale, lean forward, grab your two blocks, put them forward, the tall height, and then step up into a little standing L shape. So take a breath here. The hammy, probably not overly warm, but maybe getting there. And if it is, you can start to take the blocks down, lower, maybe 1 or 2 notches. Not worried about how high your left leg is. Now with your hands on the blocks or on the ground if your hamstrings are feeling open, all I want you to do is rock up onto the ball of your right foot and then rock back down. So you're inhale, rocking up, putting the weight into your hands. Exhale, heels back, or right heel back down. Again, inhale, rock it up, lean forward. And then exhale, heel back down. Bend your right knee, step your left toes to the back of the mat with your blocks to the side. Left hand goes down, right arm goes up into this lunge twist. So again, trying to pull your feet together, almost like you could wrinkle your mat. Try to dial your left palm to the left, broaden your collarbones, take an inhale. On your exhale, roll to the outside edge of your left foot. Now you can modify Vashisthasana by walking your right foot halfway down the side of your mat, or if you're feeling good, you can stack your heels. But just like we did before, try to lean your heart back, push your hips forward, take an inhale. On your exhale, bring your right hand to the ground, roll to your toes in plank and pause. Lift your left leg up. Inhale, take your left leg up and back. Exhale, right down center, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, step your foot to your thumbs. Again, you're gonna lower the right knee and draw your hips back into this half splits, half Hanumanasana. Again, it doesn't matter how straight your left knee is. Be more interested in protecting the back of your knee than getting your leg straight. Dig into your left heel and feel like you can drag it to the back of the mat. As you do that, the outer edge of your right hip will hopefully rolls gently forward. And then sternum forward, spine nice and long. Breathe into the back of your leg. Take another inhale. On your exhale, bring your big toe back down to the ground. Pick your right knee up. Shorten and widen your stance a little bit and come onto fingertips. Pull your sternum forward. A little bend in your right knee. Come all the way up into crescent pose. All right, so again, not interested in how straight your back leg is. It can be bent. But try to pull your left heel back. Find a gentle lift of the front rim of your pelvis away from your left leg. And just breathe. Take another inhale. And then on your exhale, lean forward, grab your two blocks. I'm going to start with mine, the tall height. As you shift into your left foot, pick your right leg up into a standing L shape. Again, not interested in how high the lifted leg is. And if you need to bend the standing leg, feel free to do that. You might find that you're able to lower the blocks, and that's lovely. Feel free to do that. And then wherever you are, allowing for a few rocks if you choose. So rock high onto the ball of your left foot. Inhale, put the weight into your hand. Exhale, left heel back down to the ground. Again, inhale, rock it up. Exhale, back down. One more, inhale, rock high, lean into your fingertips. Exhale, heel to the ground, bend your left knee. Step your right toes to the back of the mat. Move the blocks to the side. Right hand looks like down dog as it goes flat to the mat. And then twist open. I like a little width when I twist, so I walk my left foot off to the side. Feel free to do the same. Try to pull your feet together like we did before. Gently lifting your frontal hip bones towards your ribs. Broaden your collarbones as you inhale. And then as you exhale, roll to the outside edge of your right foot. Walk your left foot halfway down the side of the mat. That might be plenty. Or maybe you'll stack your heels. Push your hips forward, your heart back. Inhale. Find that connection to your midsection. Left hand comes to the ground. Roll to your toes. Lift your right toes up like we did prior. Reach your right leg up and back. And bring your right foot back down to the ground. Inhale, shift forward into plank. Modify this if you need to, but collarbones broad as you chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, back into down dog. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, right down the center, knee to nose. Now pause here. Take your knee over to your right tricep. See how high you can get it up there. Lean into it. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, step your right foot to your thumb. Sometimes spin your back heel down, but take a nice wide stance because we're setting up for warrior one. So I like heel to heel at a minimum, if not wider for warrior one. Make sure the left toes are angled up. Come onto fingertips. Draw your right sitting bone back, and then inhale, come up into warrior one. So as you push into the outer edge of your left foot, draw your right sitting bone back. Don't worry about squaring your pelvis, squaring your ribs, doesn't matter. Let your left hip be where it is. Make sure there isn't any pain in your lower back. Inhale, lift up, hold it. On your exhale, hands come down again. Grab your 2 blocks, spin on the ball of your back foot. Step up into that standing L shape. Now again, if you'd like to lower the blocks, feel free. Now pause here. We're going to externally rotate the standing leg for just a moment. So bring your left hand onto your left hip. And then from here, start to open up your left hip gently to the left. You're not stacking your left hip on top of the right. Pull your right sitting bone back, juice up your left leg. Gently turn your left ribs open, and then maybe your left arm lifts for a half moon variation. Take an inhale. Exhale, left hand to the ground. Turn your left hip point back down, and then gently step your toes back. Move your blocks to the side. Same gig, left hand down, right arm up, twist. Again, try to wrinkle the mat with your feet. Lengthening your sternum forward, your tailbone back. Inhale. On your exhale, you can Vashisthasana modified, or you can stack your heels, or option to take the tree variation. So as you take the tree variation, try to push your hips to the right, your heart to the left. Inhale. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Roll to your toes. Plank, hold, plank. Lift your left leg. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, right down the center, knee to nose, and then hold it. Come up onto your right big toe, and then pull your left knee over to your left tricep. Lean into it. Inhale. Exhale, lift it up and back. Step your foot to your thumbs. Lower your right heel, pause. So again, I like heel to heel or wider. I actually take a much wider stance. Come onto fingertips. Make sure the back toes are angled up generously, heart forward, left sitting bone back, and come on up into warrior one. So again, not worried about how turned forward your right hip is. It just does not matter. Pull your left sitting bone back. If it's comfortable in your lower back to upright the front of your pelvis, feel free to do that. Just breathing here, inhale. Hold, exhale. And bring your hands down to the ground. Spin on the ball of your back foot, grab your blocks, step forward into that standing L shape. Take the blocks to the height that is appropriate for you. Again, I'm gonna lower mine down, but if your hamstrings are tight, keep them high. No big deal, or you can ditch them completely. Now from here, with your left leg rooted, your left leg can bend a little bit. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Start to gently open your right hip, but again, you're not stacking your right hip on top of your left. Draw your left sitting bone back as you start to turn your right ribs. Maybe your right arm goes up. Inhale. Exhale, gently turn it back down to the ground. You might want to bend your left knee to make that happen. From there, step your right toes to the back of the mat. Slide your right hand back. Take your left arm up for the twist. Inhale. On your exhale, roll to the outside edge of your foot again. Maybe you're going into a modified Vashi, full Vashi, or the tree variation. Wherever you are, lift your bottom hip. Push your hips to the left, lean your heart to the right. Take an inhale. Exhale, left hand down, roll to your toes, plank pose. Lift your right toes, sweep your right leg up and back. And then toes down into down dog. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, back bend, lift your heart. And exhale, back to down dog. All right, we're gonna do one more sequence. It's gonna be a little bit longer of a sequence, but I believe in you. And if you need to take breaks, you take breaks. Please take care of your body. On an inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, this time shift to plank, right knee to right tricep, and hold it. Keep your shoulders here, take it over to the left. Ooh, inhale, take it up and back. I got real excited about that. Step your right foot forward, back heel spins down. We're gonna go right into triangle pose. So right leg goes straight, left heel turns down. Feel free to grab your block if you need it. Push into your right big toe. Draw your right sitting bone back as you spin your inner right thigh towards the front of your mat. And if it's a lot on your neck, you can look down. Push into the outer edge of your left foot. Very gently spin your inner left thigh back behind you. Go ahead and bring your left hand onto your left hip, bend your right knee. We're stepping up into half moon from here. Inhale. Again, you're not stacking your hips. Outer left hip is dropping even just a slight bit. But zip up your inner thigh. If you want to take your left arm back up, you can. On an exhale, bend your right knee to turn your left hip towards the ground and bring your hands down. Now, I'm going to give you options. You can continue to rock up onto the ball of your foot like we did a couple rounds ago. Or if anyone is playing with handstand hops, bring your hands down to the ground, rock up onto the ball of your foot, or maybe take a little hop, and back down. Maybe a couple little hops, and back down. Or maybe you're just holding it, and you're like, no, Jessup, this is not what I enjoy doing. That's perfectly fine. Pause, right foot on the ground, step your left toes to the back of the mat. Left hand down, right arm up. Spin your left bicep forward. So that's an important part for this one. Turn your left bicep forward. Get your left shoulder head down off of your ear. Take your right arm up and then over your ear. So lots of options here. Modified Bashi, full Bashi, or feel free to flip your Bashi. Flip your dog. Drop your foot behind your calf muscle. Lift your hips. Be mindful of your bottom shoulder, your left shoulder. Push the ground away. Exhale, right hand to the ground, right toes to the ground. Plank hold. Lift your left leg. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Now stay here. Shift your knee over to the right. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, step your foot up. We're going right into triangle pose. Back heel spins down at an angle. Left hand down, right arm up. Feel free to grab your block. Now as you push into the mound of your left big toe, draw your left sitting bone back and spin your inner left thigh forward. Inhale here. Right leg is working straight, and the very top of your inner right thigh, very gently spin that back behind you. So your right hip will drop ever so slightly down towards the ground. Look down at your left big toe. Bend your knee. Start to step forward. You bring your hand to your hip. Modify half moon however you need to. With or without a block is fine. Rolling the outer edge of your left hip back as the outer edge of your right hip rolls slightly down. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend your left knee, then turn your hip towards the ground. Turn your pinky toe towards the ground. Grab your blocks, if you like, for your standing L shape. Or maybe you plant your palms. Maybe you're rocking onto the ball of your foot. Maybe you're rocking up into a little handstand hop. Try not to be attached too much to it. And then eventually landing with your left foot down on the ground. Bend your left knee. Step your right toes back. Plant your right palm. Turn it slightly out. Take your left arm up. Inhale. Now left arm over your ear. Lots of variations for Vashisthasana. Take the one that suits you. Maybe you're flipping it over, dropping your foot, lifting your hips, leaning it back. Inhale. Exhale, left hand to the ground. Roll to your toes. Plank pose. Lift your right toes. Sweep it up and back. And place it down. Down dog. Last little vinyasa here. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga, modify if you need to. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Whew. Inhale fully. Exhale, bring your knees down. You can take child's pose or virasana, whatever suits you here. I'm going to sit in virasana so I can catch my breath a little bit. Now, all that was just fun, just playing, just building on some of the things that we did in each round. So just try not to be attached to it. Just have fun with it. Feel good in your practice. Know that it's there for you tomorrow as well if you want to come back to it and try it again. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. From there, cross over your ankles, sit on your tush. Take your right leg straight out, bend your left knee, bring your foot flat, to the inside edge of your right leg. And now flex your right ankle, dig your right heel into the ground, and try to pull your right thigh back. Sit tall as you inhale. You're welcome to stay right here. If you feel plenty on the back of your leg, you can stay. If you want a little bit more, you can start to crawl your hands forward. I'm not a huge fan of grabbing the foot because I think you just leverage with your arms. So try to keep your little tent hands on either side of your calf. And as you pull your left thigh back, very gently, the left ribs might roll a little bit forward, but not forcing anything here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, lift back up. Bring your left hand back behind your sitting bone. Lift your right arm up. And then push into your left hand to roll onto your left shin. And drop your heart back, your head back. Lower your buns back down to the ground and swap it out. Left leg goes out. Sole of your right foot to your inner thigh. Flex your left ankle. Dig your heel into the ground and sit tall. And then assess. Maybe this is plenty. Maybe you're feeling enough sensation on the back of your leg. Feel free to stay. Maybe you have a little bit more in you. You can start to walk your tent hands forward. But continue to draw back through your left leg as you roll your right rib slightly down. Inhale, lift your heart. Bring your right hand behind your hips, your left arm up. Roll onto your right shin. Drop your left hand back behind you as you lift your hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, gently lower your buns back down. Okay. Cross one shin in front of the next, doesn't matter which one. And take your arms forward. Either cross your right elbow over your left for eagle arms or bear hug, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna gently round forward, tucking your chin into your chest. Inhale, sit upright, take your arms forward. Cross the opposite elbow on top. Whatever variation you want to do on this side, doesn't have to be the same. Round down into it gently. Tuck your chin in, breathe. And then inhale, sit back up, unwind your arms. If you have the blocks, go ahead and grab them. Take them next to your hip. I like the medium height, but you might do the lower height with the seam of the two blocks facing your hip. And then lay down on your back, feet flat, knees bent. From here, pushing into your feet, you're gonna lift your buns up and just simply slide those two blocks underneath your hips. So try to get them under your buns as best you can. We're not looking for a real deep back bend at this point, just hanging out here for a moment. Stay here, push your shoulder heads down, move your upper back into your chest. Now if this is plenty, stay right here. If you want to take your legs up into the air for a kind of a Viparita Karani, feel free to do that. Notice my legs are not straight. I don't care how straight my legs are right now. They're just chilling. They just be chilling. You can keep your legs up as long as you like, or you can bring them back down and hang out in this supported bridge pose. Be mindful that you don't feel lower back or knee pain. Let's be here for another 2 rounds of breath. If your legs are still up in the air, go ahead and bend your knees, bring your feet gently to the ground. Take an inhale. And then exhale, lift your hips up, slide the blocks out, and lower your hips back down to the ground. So we're done with the blocks, you can move them off to the side. Shift your hips to the right, drop your knees to the left. Just take a nice, easy little twist here. Breathe down the right side of your body. And then inhale, come back to center. Shift your hips to the left, drop your knees. Right, again, nice, easy twist. Not necessarily looking for more depth at this point, just unwinding all the work that we did. And breathing down the left side of your body this time. Let your shoulders be heavy. So I find that it feels nice to turn my palms up so that my shoulders rotate open, but if you prefer to keep your hands on your torso, if that feels better, feel free to do that. On your next inhale, come back to center. Shift your hips to center, and then you can either knock your knees together and take your feet wide, resting here, or if you want to take more of a traditional Shavasana shape, feel free to do that. Wherever you decide to be, make sure you're spacious in your lower back, either palms out to the side up or resting nicely on your torso. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Soften and widen your forehead, relax your jaw. Soften at the base of your neck. As always, I'm going to encourage you to stay here for a couple of moments. When I say moments, I mean minutes for Shavasana. Completely surrender all the hard work. Melt into your mat. Thank you for your practice today. Namaste.